two types of delivery drivers in Bangkok: the ones who finish their shift at midnight, and the ones who are willing to work past 2 a.m. The second type makes more money, but they also see things that the day shift will never believe. Tonight, we are going to tell you about Arthit, a 26-year-old Grab delivery driver who worked the graveyard shift in the outer districts of Bangkok. He needed the money. His mother was sick. His girlfriend wanted to get married. So he took every order that came through his phone, no matter how late, no matter how far. On the night of August 14th, 2019, Arthit received an order that would make him quit his job the very next morning. Arthit was parked outside a 7-Eleven in the Lat Phrao district, finishing his 6th delivery of the night. It was 2:47 a.m. His phone was almost dead. He was about to log off and go home when his app pinged one last time. Order: 1 serving of khao man gai, chicken rice. Total: 65 baht. Delivery address: 177-9 Soi Ram Kam Haeng, 164. Outskirts near the old Banyan Grove. Arthit frowned. He knew Bangkok well, but he had never heard of that Soi. He zoomed in on the map. The GPS showed a thin, gray line, a dirt road. It didn't even have a street name. It just existed. He almost declined, but 65 baht was 65 baht, plus tip. He accepted the order. He picked up the chicken rice from a small 24-hour shop near the main road. The owner, an old Thai-Chinese woman, looked at the address on his phone and went pale. "You're going there?" she asked in a low voice. "Yeah, why? Is it far?" She didn't answer. She just packed the food quickly, handed it to him, and waved her hand in a gesture that looked like she was shooing away a spirit. "Go fast, don't stop, and don't look back." Arthit laughed nervously. He thought she was just superstitious. Old people in Thailand are like that, always talking about ghosts. He got on his motorbike and followed the GPS. At first, the road was normal, wide, paved, streetlights every 50 meters. But after about 10 minutes, the GPS told him to make a left turn onto a narrow path. The moment his bike crossed that threshold, everything changed. The streetlights disappeared. The asphalt turned into hard-packed dirt. The air became thick and humid, even though it was the dry season. And on both sides of the road, rising like ancient guardians, were massive banyan trees. If you don't know, banyan trees in Thai folklore are considered portals. The roots hang down like curtains. Spirits love to nest in them. You never park under a banyan tree. You never sleep near one. And you definitely never go into a grove of them alone at night. But Arthit had no choice. The GPS said, "Continue straight for 1.2 kilometers. He drove slowly. His headlight barely cut through the darkness. There were no houses, no other vehicles, just him, the trees, and the sound of his engine echoing in the silence. Then his phone rang. It was the customer. Arthit answered. "Hello, Kuhn customer. I'm on my way. I'm almost there." There was a pause. Then a woman's voice, soft, polite, but with a strange flatness. "Thank you for coming. Just bring it today. I will be home tonight." Arthit felt a chill run down his spine. The way she said it. "I will be home tonight. Not I am home. Not I'm waiting. But I will be home." As if she wasn't there yet. As if she was coming from somewhere else. Okay. I'll be there in 5 minutes." The line went dead. Arthit's hands were sweating inside his gloves. He wanted to turn around, but he was already halfway down the road. Turning back now would mean driving through that banyan grove again. So he kept going, Finally, the GPS said, "You have arrived at your destination." But there was nothing there, just more trees, more darkness. And then Arthit saw it, a small dirt path leading off the main road. And at the entrance of the path, there was a wooden sign, hand-painted, faded. It said, in Thai, Nok Village. Arthit had lived in Bangkok his entire life. He had never heard of a village called Nok, and yet here it was. He turned onto the path, and that's when he saw the houses. They were old, traditional Thai stilt houses made of dark teak wood. But they were wrong. The windows had no glass, just black, empty squares. There were no lights, no sounds, no dogs barking, no chickens, nothing. And yet, in front of every house, there was a spirit house, a miniature shrine where Thais leave offerings for protective spirits. But these spirit houses were not empty. They were filled, overflowing. Fruit, flowers, incense, rice, as if someone had just placed them there. Arthit's heart was pounding. He checked the GPS again. It said he was at the exact address, 177 Jerson 9. He looked up. There, at the end of the path, was a house, slightly larger than the others. And on the porch, under a single bare light bulb that flickered like a dying heartbeat, was a woman. She was standing perfectly still, wearing a traditional Thai sin skirt. Her hair was long and black, falling down to her waist. Her face was pale, too pale, and she was smiling. Arthit got off his bike. He grabbed the bag of chicken rice. His legs felt like lead. He walked up to the porch. Kun customer." His voice cracked. The woman nodded slowly. "Yes. Thank you for bringing my food." Arthit held out the bag, but the woman didn't take it. She just kept smiling. "You can put it on the table." Arthit looked. There was a small wooden table on the porch. On the table, there was a single plate, a single spoon, and next to the plate, there was a framed photograph. It was a photo of the woman, the same woman standing in front of him. But in the photo, she was lying in a coffin, dressed in white funeral clothes. Her hands were folded over her chest. Arthit's blood turned to ice. The woman tilted her head. "You're wondering why I ordered food, aren't you?" Arthit couldn't speak. He couldn't move. The woman stepped closer. Her bare feet made no sound on the wooden floor. "I was hungry. I've been hungry for a very long time. You see, no one comes here anymore. No one remembers this village. We've been waiting for someone to find us again." Arthit looked around. Slowly, one by one, figures began to appear in the doorways of the other houses. Men, women, children, all dressed in old, faded clothes, all staring at him, all smiling. The woman reached out and gently took the bag of chicken rice from his trembling hands. "Thank you. You're very kind, but I must give you a warning." She leaned in close. Her breath was cold. It smelled like earth and incense. "Do not come back here. Do not tell anyone where this place is. And when you leave, do not look back. If you look back, we will think you want to stay. And if you stay, you will never leave." She stepped back and bowed deeply, a traditional Thai way. Safe travels. Arthit didn't need to be told twice. He turned. He ran to his bike. He kicked the engine to life and sped down the dirt path as fast as his bike could go. The wind roared in his ears. The trees blurred past him. But just before he reached the main road, he heard it, a sound that made his skin crawl, singing, a chorus of voices, men, women, children, all singing an old Thai lullaby, the kind you sing to children to help them sleep. But the voices were layered, overlapping, like a broken recording. Arthit wanted to look back. Every instinct in his body screamed at him to turn his head and see what was behind him. But he remembered the woman's warning. He kept his eyes forward, and he didn't stop until he was back on the main road, back under the streetlights, back in the world of the living. The next morning, Arthit went to the district office. He asked about Nok Village. He gave them the exact GPS coordinates. The officer looked confused. He pulled up a map on the computer. "There's no village there," the officer said. "That area has been abandoned for 40 years. There was a village once, yes, but in 1979, there was a flood, a flash flood from the mountains. The entire village was wiped out. Over 60 people died. They never rebuilt. It's just jungle now." Arthit showed him the GPS path on his phone. The officer stared at the screen. Then he looked at Arthit with a mixture of pity and fear. "You shouldn't have gone there," the officer said quietly. "People say that place is a Thanon Phi, a ghost road. It only appears at night, and only to people who are unlucky." Arthit never took another delivery after 2 a.m. He quit Grab a month later and got a job at a construction site. Better hours, less money, but safer. He still has nightmares. In the dreams, he is riding his bike down that dirt road again. And this time, when he reaches the village, the woman is waiting. But she's not alone. She's standing next to an empty chair, and she's smiling. And she says, "We saved you a seat." Here's the thing about ghost villages in Thailand. They're not just stories. In Thai Buddhism, we believe that when people die, suddenly, violently, or with unfinished business, their spirits can become trapped. They create a loop, a pocket of time that repeats, and if you stumble into that loop, you can become part of it. Banyan Village is still on Arthit's phone. The GPS marker is still there. He's tried to delete it, but every time he does, it reappears. Sometimes late at night, his phone pings. A new order. Chicken rice. 65 baht. Delivery address. 100 Thanon Phi 7 9 Soi Ram Kam Haing 164. He never accepts. This story is based on reports from multiple delivery drivers in the Bangkok area between 2018 and 2020. Several drivers reported similar experiences: isolated roads, villages that shouldn't exist, orders from customers who were no longer alive. If you work the night shift, if you drive for a living, remember this: not every address on your GPS leads to the world you know. Some roads only appear when the veil is thin, and if you follow them, you might deliver more than just food. You might deliver yourself. If you want more true stories from the dark corners of Asia, hit that subscribe button. We explore the places the guidebooks won't tell you about, the roads the maps don't show, and the deliveries that should never have been made. Tell me in the comments, would you have looked back, or would you have kept driving? Let me know. Stay safe out there. And if your GPS ever takes you down a road lined with banyan trees, turn around. Some destinations aren't meant to be reached.